Over 20 years, 2,448 American soldiers have died and $2.4 trillion has been spent. But has the US achieved its goal? You probably guessed what I want to talk about today, the longest war in American history, that's war in Afghanistan. Throughout 4 American presidencies, the war is hard to win and hard to end. President Joe Biden set in April that US troops, except those protecting their diplomats, would withdraw from Afghanistan by September 11th, which was the 20th anniversary of the war. On July 2nd, in the middle of the night, US troops departed the Bagram Air Base. It was the most significant step towards the complete withdrawal of American forces in Afghanistan. Imagine this! General Mir Asadullah Khohistani, the new Afghanistan commander, woke up early in the morning to discover that their American allies left 2 hours ago. Seriously? The American soldiers did not even bother to notify the local Afghan army when they left.
7 o'clock morning, we understood that they are already left the background.
Was he just sneaking around in the dark? Back in 2001, when the US Army first went into Afghanistan, they actually had 2 objectives. First, as a direct response to the 9/11 attacks, the United States wanted to take military action against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban who protect them. Second, the US wanted to rebuild Afghan politics, transforming Afghanistan and the Middle East through the introduction of an American-style system with the hope democracy, of course in the American way, would address the hotbeds of extremism and terrorism there once and for all. Did the Americans succeed? First of all, although Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden is dead, the Taliban is like here. You cut it off and it grows back thicker. The United States, the unique superpower in the world who has been fighting a band of mountain guerrillas for 20 years, could not eliminate the Taliban, but had to make peace with them. On February 29, 2020, the Trump administration and the Taliban signed a peace agreement in Qatar. In other words, in order to get out of Afghanistan, the United States initiated dialogue with the Taliban, violating the decade-long political bottom line of having no dialogue with the Taliban. Thus, the United States recognized the status of the Taliban and sacrificed the interests of the Afghan government it had personally helped build. America's first objective failed. Second, that America wants to deliver their democracy to Afghanistan. In local Afghanistan, the Taliban applies Islamic law and they live with local villagers who believe in the Taliban ways. Although the villagers might think that the Taliban are cruel, they also view them as very reasonable. On the other hand, the Afghan government in Kabul, supported by American troops, has a very modern judicial system that, despite being more human, is corruptive and lacks justice in the minds of the locals. The Americans had no idea what the villagers wanted. Let's look at the video released by the Associated Press called Fighting to Win Over the Hearts and Minds of the People of Afghanistan. It shows the Americans giving radios to the elders in the village. They broadcasted daily propaganda such as Indian pop music, agricultural irrigation techniques, and "We are not your enemies." But if you look at the old man's face in this video, you will know it hasn't worked very well.
Tell him this knob, you turn it back and forth.
What are you talking about? America's second objective failed. As the US withdrew, the Taliban rapidly gained control of 85% of Afghanistan's territory and up to 250 of the country's 398 districts, and the numbers are continuing to rise. Faced with this situation, the anxious Afghan government knocked on the door of their American allies. In a hurry, the Afghan leaders went to the White House where President Joe Biden met Afghan President Ashraf Ghani. This one. Seated beside Ghani and Abdullah in the Oval Office, Biden called them two old friends. However, despite the harmonious atmosphere, Biden called on Afghans to decide the future of their own country.
The Afghans are going to have to decide their future, what they want.
Hey buddy, you're on your own this time.